So the reason contractors can no longer drink in Iraq or Afghanistan, or because I've never actually said this story on any media or whatever.
So no shit.
That's okay. Only like 4 people listen to it. Yeah, so start it with so no shit. There I was.
So no shit. There I was.
There you go.
Right. In Afghanistan, 2010-ish, right? 2009, something like that. And I'm watching the TV, and then there's some dude that's like, he was my team leader, and we had to do mandatory training on our break, 4-hour break, and it'd be something stupid like, here's a class on the saw, and it's like, we all know how to fucking use a saw, but you had to just make up some bullshit training, right? It was part of protocol.
Checks in the box.
Right. And so he's like, come here, we're gonna do a class on the saw, and I'm fucking sitting down in the break room, and CNN is playing, and it's like, the caption says, mercenaries gone wild, and I'm just looking, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's everybody that I work with, all my coworkers, they're all naked, blurred out fucking privates, and their eyes are blacked out. And it says mercenaries gone wild. And then another caption said like Lord of the Flies, and it's saying sexual lewd acts, contractors, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And it's all my coworkers. I literally recognize everybody. Like I've, been on scene.
Like, I recognize that black box.
Yeah, 100%. And so I'm looking at all this shit. And then the guy's like, hey, come over here. We're going to do a class on the saw. I was like, no, Chris, you get over here. He's like, God damn it, Governor, let's just fucking get over with. I'm like, no, motherfucker. He's my team leader. I'm like, you get over here. And he's like, what could be so good? Holy fuck. And our whole, we just sit down and we're literally like, I'm at the U.S. Embassy watching all my coworkers fucking butt naked on TV, right? So
Kabul?
In Kabul, yeah. Yeah. And so we get back, we had to like patrol to and from the embassy from our base. And we get back and all the owners of the company are pacing and they're like, turn in your firearms, all of you. And we're like, what the fuck? So we weren't allowed to have any of our weapons while we were like not on duty working at the US Embassy. And I was like, what the fuck? And what happened was one dude got fired and he was like bitter over why he was getting fired. This is the real story of what happened. And what he did was he would, and granted, this shit shouldn't have, this is fucking weird, but I used to contract with like a bunch of SAS dudes and fucking Kiwi SAS and like South African like badass cops and just a bunch of bad motherfuckers, dude. And for some reason, the fucking narrative became like, oh, I can be gayer than you and prove I'm still straight. So it just got gayer and gayer and gayer.
Gay chicken.
And dude, you have to understand, this is peak like combat years.
Mike and I are playing. We're getting ready to adopt our first kid.
These guys
might
are all
actually
fucking
be gay.
Yeah. And these guys, dude, they were the video that they played, and the guy, I know him. He was taking a shot out of some other dude's ass. He like bent over and they poured like a shot of liquor down his ass crack, and my friend got under and drank it, right?
Yeah,
and so
I think he wins gay chicken.
Yeah.
At that point.
Oh, dude! And so what was happening?
I vaguely fucking remember watching this fucking thing in Iraq.
Yes,
because we were all watching the TV going, that's not too bad.
I remember when that happened, and because I was still in, and I remember my LT. We were watching it, and my LT just went. So any of you motherfuckers that were thinking about contracting and getting out, that's what you have to look forward to.
It was
and we
terrible,
were all like.
So one dude was getting fired.
Better money and I get to fuck around like that?
Dude, one dude walked around and he just would be like, get in the picture. And he just started taking photos because what they would do to save money is they would fire you, but they'd be like, you're going to get paid until you leave. We found you a cheap-ish flight and it's in 10 days. So you're going to get paid for 10 days, but then you're out of here. And he's like, cool. So what he did was he just took a bunch of photos of all this crazy shit that would happen.
Dropped them to a fucking reporter.
Yeah. And no. He fucking mailed everything to, at the time, Secretary of State was Hillary Clinton. So he emailed everything to Hillary Clinton, and I'm fucking in the break room, and it's just like, mercenaries gone wild. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so then they flew in federal investigators, and they flew them in, and they would drop a folder. And mind you, I was like 24, right? So now I'm like mature enough to be like this, but at 24, you're still like, hee, a penis, right? And so they fucking drop like this fucking folder, manila folder, and they're like, do you know these men? And they slide it over, and I open it, and I want to laugh. So it was the gayest shit, uncensored.
It's just all dicks.
A ton of dicks, and they're all my friends' dicks. And you know what I'm saying? And I'd been at these parties and seen them, and they're like, do you know these men? And I just bit my cheeks because it was a super serious investigation. I'm like, yeah, I know these men.
Yeah.
Like, and
I can totally ID this dick lineup.
Yeah. And they're like, do you know them? And I was like, yeah, I know who they are. And they're like, were you ever at these parties? I was like, nah, I mean, I would walk, to the... Dude, I remember specifically playing Horseshoes Naked. I don't even know what happened, but it was me and my friend playing like, oh, you're going to miss this horseshoe. By the time you know, we're both butt naked, like 4 a.m. playing horseshoes. And the next shift is walking out to go take duty and patrol the embassy. And they all walk out with their guns and they're like, God damn it, you two fucking idiots. And we're like just naked. We're like, what? And they're like, put your clothes on and go to bed. And it was one of those like you'd wake up the next day and be like, fuck, last night was rough. Like playing Horseshoes Naked. But it wasn't like
So
anything.
you're the reason when I was contracted in Kabul, I couldn't fucking drink. Thanks,
Dude,
buddy.
that is the exact reason why today, in today's day and age, contractors cannot drink liquor overseas.